Hey everyone, so the last mushroom video, it was January and we had just gotten our first flush. A lot has happened since then. It is now the beginning of April. We have gotten 2 flushes. In that time I've done a little rehab on the crate, cooked up a ton of mushroom food, so I'm going to have some recipes. And now we are wrapping up for the season and I'm going to tell you what I'm doing with the crate for now. And if you want to stay tuned to the end, I'll tell you what happened to my foot. It's really embarrassing. I wasn't planning on making another video, so there are going to be a lot of photographs and a lot of vertical video, and I apologize for that. So that first flush of mushrooms back in December and January yielded about 2 pounds of mushrooms, which I was ecstatic about. Most of these I ate fresh in pastas and stir fries, but I did take a few and put them in the smoker. We were smoking some steaks in the Kamado Joe, and when we were done, I just put the mushrooms in there and shut the lid and just kept the vent on really small for probably 8 hours. I had to finish them up in the oven on low, but they turned out great. Then it got quiet for a bit, and then about 2 weeks later it exploded again with mushrooms, big ones. One of my favorite ways to prepare these was to season them up really well and roast them in the oven, and then put them in tacos. Another thing I tried is a Nashville hot mushroom sandwich. The remainder of that flush I just left out in the sun to dry for storage. After that, it seemed like the crate had stalled, so I decided to get a little rehab by turning everything over and adding some fresh compost and cardboard and a little bit of shade because it was getting hot at that point. After a few weeks, it seems to have done the trick. I've been finding more and more pill bugs in the crate, and they don't bother me too much. They're just in there chewing the decaying cardboard and compost. They do a little bit of damage on the mushrooms, but nothing too bad. It's, let's just say, the poop that they leave behind. The mushrooms really liked the bottom part, and I ended up cribbing the crate up, but I would probably add feet in the future to also keep the pill bugs out. To get the crud off, I just give everything a good dunk and a rinse and a spray, and use a brush to get in the gills and sweep everything off. Some things are especially sticky, and if that's the case, I'll just trim those. No big deal. And you end up with these beautiful, squeaky clean mushrooms. use some of this last batch to try and make some jerky. I specifically selected bits of thicker area and I cut them into strips. I let them soak in the marinade for a couple hours. They could really even go overnight, and just toss them occasionally. It is hot and dry enough here that I could just set them out on some parchment paper under mesh in the sun, and this is after 5 hours. I let them go for another like 3 hours and they were perfect. Some of my other Arizona friends have been growing mushrooms outside as well and come up with some neat methods. My friends in Tucson put straw in a laundry basket and got a great crop. My friends over at Epic Yard Farm in Tempe just put the sawdust spawn right in the mulch in their tree wells, and they are getting excellent results. I got inspired by this and decided to empty out the crate under the peach tree just to store the contents until it got cooler. So I raked aside the mulch and the leaf litter and the wood chips, and I just put everything down there, trying to put it mostly on the fence side where it's shadier. Then I just replaced the mulch and thought it would go to bed till fall. I went ahead and put sweet potatoes in the crate for summertime. But just 3 days later, surprise, they aren't done yet. Look at them popping up all over the place. They just don't quit, and I love it. So who knows, maybe there will be a part 4. But in the meantime, you could follow along in how these guys are doing on our Instagram at Shoestring Martha.